We go to Capitol Hill now, where the first public hearings on impeachment set for Wednesday, starting with William Taylor, the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, and George Kent, the Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, followed by the fired U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Marie Yovanovitch, on Friday. They are all expected to detail an improper pressure campaign by President Trump as Republicans release a list of witnesses they want to call. Our senior congressional correspondent, Mary Bruce, tracking it all on Capitol Hill. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, George. Well, as this impeachment inquiry enters the next phase, this is now all about making a public case. Democrats with these hearings are looking to focus squarely on the president's actions to pressure Ukraine, while Republicans are now looking to broaden the scope of these hearings. As Capitol Hill braces for public impeachment hearings this morning, fresh fights over who should testify.
Well, I never even heard of some of these people. I don't know who they are.
On Wednesday, that first witness to come before cameras, the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, Bill Taylor. In explosive closed-door testimony, Taylor implicated the president in a campaign to pressure Ukraine, saying it was his, quote, clear understanding that Ukraine would not receive nearly $400 million in critical military aid until they agreed to investigate Trump's political rivals.
This is a very strong case of bribery. The Constitution's very clear. Treason, bribery, or acts of omission. And in this case, it is clearly one of those.
Shifting tactics, some Republicans are now condemning Trump's behavior, but say it doesn't rise to the level of impeachment.
I believe it was inappropriate. I do not believe it was impeachable.
But Trump is not on board with that defense, tweeting, "Republicans, don't be led into the fool's trap of saying it was not perfect but is not impeachable," insisting nothing was done wrong. Over the weekend, Republicans put out their own witness wish list, including Joe Biden's son Hunter and the anonymous whistleblower who sparked this impeachment inquiry.
It's impossible to bring this case forward, in my view, fairly, without us knowing who the whistleblower is and having a chance to cross-examine them about any biases that they may have.
But Democrats say that's not going to happen. The chairman leading the hearings, Adam Schiff, says it would be redundant and would only place their personal safety at grave risk. Eager to focus on Trump, Democrats are not likely to call Hunter Biden either. Schiff warning the hearings will not serve as vehicles for any member to carry out the same sham investigations into the Bidens. Now, House investigators are still hoping to hear from two witnesses with firsthand knowledge, former National Security Advisor John Bolton and acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney. Now, the White House is trying to block them from appearing. Bolton seems willing to talk, but is looking for the courts to decide whether he can comply. And George, in a surprise twist, Mick Mulvaney is now also looking to the courts to decide his next move here.
Yeah, the question is how long that would take. Meantime, Mary, that Ukrainian American who was working with Rudy Giuliani, who was indicted for some campaign finance violations, now appears eager to testify against Giuliani and President Trump.
Yeah, George, Lev Parnas is now willing to speak with congressional investigators and comply with a subpoena. And this morning, the New York Times is previewing why he would be such a critical witness. His lawyer telling the Times that Parnas plans to tell House investigators he personally told Ukrainian officials that they needed to launch an investigation into the Bidens or else they would not receive millions in that critical military aid. George, that is exactly the kind of ultimatum that the White House and the president have been denying.
Okay, Mary, thanks very much. I know you'll be joining our live coverage of the first impeachment hearings. That starts at 10 Eastern right here on ABC and ABC News Live. Robin?
Folks are going to be watching.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.